Alright, welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all. So it's Friday morning. Early Friday morning. Getting ready for work. And yeah, normal stuff. Actually got some pretty good sleep last night, so that really helps out. Always nice to get a little nap in, you know what I mean? So anywho, already had me a quick shower to get woke up, cleaned up, everything along those lines. Cool outside, it's probably in the 50s or something like that. It was in the mid 50s yesterday. Felt nice, had a breeze. It was good stuff. So for today's shave, hadn't used the Arko in a while. So here we go with the Arko. If you don't know anything about Arko, it's Turkish, it's dirt cheap, it's got a smell you're either gonna love or hate, and it lathers like the dickens. It's really nice. There are no horse feathers in that at all. So for a razor, I was digging around the other day because my razors are still mostly packed down in boxes because I never put them out. But anyway, and I run along and I came across this little gem, a PAL Injecto-matic. What I've always thought is neat is how the head has the lines on it and all put together there like that. It's got a nice little handle that you can hold on to, nice and ribbed. And I've always liked this Injecto-matic. I bought it many moons ago, and it's a really great little razor. There's an adjustable PAL. I've never had one. I hear varying stories about them, but anyway, it's an injector razor, which is great. So shave stick, we wiped our face off, and then we just dampen the end of the stick, and away it goes on the face. Nothing to it. Don't gotta be all let it sit and soak and try to bloom it and do all this stuff. Just dampen the end of the soap and rub it, and you'll see it start to show up on your whiskers as you go. Now, as I always say, the amount you put on is something you kind of have to learn. I've come to find out that this big brush I have is going to require more soap. And maybe as it breaks in a little bit, it won't be so bad. But right now it requires more. But we're not using that brush today. We used it a couple of times in a row to get it going. And look how pretty this thing bloomed though. Isn't that nice? That is just a very nice looking brush. Loving the knot. It's got backbone, but it's soft enough that it's okay. So anyway, but today's brush, we're going to use this little old brush. It's Turkish, if I'm not mistaken, and I cannot remember the name. I actually still have one of these that's in a still in the box somewhere, and I don't remember the name right now. But anyway, this little old brush, I've had it for a long time, and at one time it was one of my main brushes, and everybody's going to these great big brushes, so I just wanted to give a little demonstration that it doesn't take a great big brush. This thing will work up a lather off a cake like you can't believe for a little old brush. And as you can see with the shave stick here, it's doing a phenomenal job. Now, Arko, I've heard people say it's drying, it dries their skin, and some people don't like the smell. They equate it to a tablet in the bathroom in the bottom of the urinal. I like the smell of Arko. Does it dry my skin out? I don't know. My skin probably stays dry because Fuzzy don't moisturize it. Although someone did point out, I did a shave one time with mayonnaise. So, they kind of pointed out, I guess that was kind of moisturizer. Kind of neat. But a little brush, and this is a little brush. Look at the lather that's on the brush. We'll have plenty for the next round. It feels good on the face. It's not too scrubby, but it gets the job done. You want a little scrubby. I mean, I don't want a brush that's just really soft and doesn't have any scrub to it. You want a scrubby brush. Oh yeah, this blade's gonna do good. It's been so long since I used this thing. I had no idea what the blade was going to be like. But the blades in these things, the ejector razor blades, they tend to last really good. So it's usually not an issue with a blade. All right. Probably could have thinned out the lather just a little bit, but that's all right. It will work just fine. Might have to rinse the razor a little more often if your lather's a little thick with an injector razor. But that in itself is not an issue anyway. Not in my book anyway. The Book of Fuzzy. I'd watch it. All right. Get up here. Someone asked the other day in an email, I was talking with someone else, why do you shave so fast? I don't know that I shave fast. I'm just shaving. Am I shaving fast? I don't know. Got to keep things moving. It's a work day. I broke out one of my Tupperware cups. I got to buy me another set of these. These were the ones I had are what they called the harvest colors. It's a green, brown, and orange, and a yellow. And I think I got the yellow and the green left. Don't know what happened to the brown one. And the orange one got chewed up by a puppy. But there's still eBay to replace them because I like having my Tupperware. I can remember my dad, when I was growing up, it was a crop duster. So he would leave early in the morning during the season because, you know, you got to have everything ready to go at daylight. So you flew from, you know, you were there from before daylight till after dark because you flew all day. And I can remember him going out with a Tupperware mug like that with a cup of coffee in the morning going out when we were getting ready for school or whatever. Had I remember had like a 73 Buick Skylark. I can remember him going out. That thing's the car I learned to drive in, by the way. Remember him going out and having that cup of coffee, set it up on the dash that had the little condensation ring up on the window from the hot coffee. Yeah. So I like my Tupperware mug, and of course these mugs have the it's a coaster and it's also a lid, and it works really good. Pretty neat. If you never had them, they're neat. Don't get the set off eBay I want. I got one picked out. I just hadn't pulled the trigger on it yet. I need to do that. All right. There we go. Well, this thing's shaved nice. It's just, I mean, it's an injector razor, even though it's not a shick. It's still an injector, and I can't tell any difference in the shave. Now, someone the other day was talk about the little nuances of the razor, and if you're getting irritation, first thing, if you're getting irritation from a razor, you're doing it wrong. That's a technique issue. As long as it's not an effective razor. And all the other little differences between razors and the little difference between blades and all this stuff will be ironed out by your technique. I don't notice all the little differences, to be honest. When you're shaving, it's just like a lot of things. You don't really notice that. You're just on autopilot most of the time, and you're not going to feel, or I'm not anyway, going to feel all the little differences because they all just, you know, even out. Long handle, short handle, heavy head, light head. This blade, that blade. I will say again though, for the record, that I don't believe in the old, this blade works better in this razor and this blade works better in this razor. There's not enough difference in blades as long as they're sharp. Now there's some Chinese blades that, you know, won't shave hot butter off a sweet tater. But if it's a good blade, it's a sharp blade, it's not defective, and the razor's not defective, there's not enough difference in blades to make a difference in a razor. It's just not. Blade gap, how thick the blade guard, how much it is, all this stuff, really not that big a deal. No such thing as a razor that's too aggressive. Again, your technique takes care of that. Now, does that mean you can't have your favorites? Of course it doesn't mean you can't have your favorites. I have favorites. But, so there we go. So I'm working a deal with one of the guys over at Toast 3. That's TOST3, the number 3.com. Little forum for single edge and injector shavers. And he's got some pretty unique little razors that he's going to let me borrow. He asked me if I wanted to borrow. I appreciate that. And we're going to do some videos with some pretty unique single edge razors. And there's some stuff that you got to modify a blade for because they were proprietary blades. So it's not for everybody. It's really generally not for me. I don't have a lot of those kind of razors because I really don't care to, you know, have to modify a blade every time. Of course, the valet and all those strops and that kind of stuff, got to modify a blade for them. So it's not like it's an impossible task. But that's going to be some future videos, is a couple of nice razors. And we'll talk more about that later. What's that, a nasty looking rag? Out of all the bath rags I have, I can't find them. I can't find any forks around this place. I've got spoons, I've got butter knives, I've got steak knives, I've even got the little hors d'oeuvre knives, or forks rather. All this stuff. I got spoons of several different sizes and everything. I can't find forks around this place. I got a fork gremlin. And it's a shame because it's the silverware set I have belonged to a great aunt of mine. Matter of fact, the same one that had the car that my dad has given me that I'm so excited about. And another exciting thing about that is I've got a buddy that's a mechanic, and that's what he specializes in, are Toyotas. And the older Toyotas are a favorite of his. Not so bad. Not so bad at all. So there we go with an Arko shave with the PAL Injecto-matic. They're just like any other injector shave. It's a great shave. The PAL doesn't have a lot of blade gap. It doesn't have a lot of blade feel, but it's definitely not an overly mild razor. Easy to get a good shave out of it. Go and knock it off. We're going to finish it up with some really old guy smell for today. And I do realize it's Friday, and normally we would have done the Fat Friday or something like that. But I had already planned on this shave and didn't get around to it, so everything was still sitting out on the counter. So there you go. That's what we got for Friday, with a good cup of coffee in a Tupperware mug. If you drink a lot of coffee, you need some of these. It's just neat. All right, well, y'all have a good day. I'm going to go finish getting ready and get off to work. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, happy shades to you.